beside you is where I belong. From this moment on, from this moment I have been blessed. I live only for your happiness and for your love. I'd give my last breath. From this moment on, I give my hand to you with all my heart. the faith of golden dreams, where one love lives eternally. Let the children remember the sound. Let them dance, let them soar, for their lives have begun. Let the children enchant as the river runs through fields, forever subsiding their voice is warm and tender, a love that I could not forsake, 'cause I'm your lady and you are my man. Whenever you reach for me, I'll do all that I can, even though there may be times it seems I'm far away. Never wonder where I am, 'cause I am always by your side. 'Cause I'm your lady and you are my man. Whenever you reach for me, I'll do all that I can. We're heading for something, somewhere I've never been. Sometimes I am frightened, but I'm ready to learn for the power of love. The sound of your heart beating made it clear suddenly.
I was walking down a dead-end road, carrying such a heavy load, but you lifted me with a mighty hand, and you taught these feet just how sorrow you replace with joy. I have every reason to rejoice. You broke the walls that held me in. Now I can shout and I can sing. Thank God I'm free. Hey, I'm free to run again. Free to throw away these chains. Thank God I'm free. I'm free to live again. Never holding back again. Thank God I'm free. Woo-hoo. Thank God I'm free. Oh yeah. Thank God I'm free.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like us to quickly be up on our feet as we take the national anthem. Please, can we all just be up on our feet? The national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians home and proud to serve our sovereign fatherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace or battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hang on to our children a banner without stain. Oh God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build a nation where no man is oppressed. And so with peace and plenty, Nigeria may be blessed.
Iṣẹ́ wa fúnlẹ̀ wa, fún ilẹ̀ ìbí wa. Kàgbéga, kàgbéga, kàgbéga fáyé rí. Ìgbàgbọ́ wa ni pé má sì bẹ̀rù làbọ̀ mọ́. Ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́, ká ṣiṣẹ́ ká jọlá. Ìṣọ̀kan àtòmìnira ní kẹ̀jẹ́ ká máa lépa. Tẹ̀síwájú fọ́pọ̀ ire àtòhun tó dára. Ọmọ Oòduà nílé, bọ́ sí ipò ẹ̀tọ́ rẹ̀. Ìwọ ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀.
God bless Nigeria. God bless OSUN'S State. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like to make welcome Dr. Tunde Aworanti, the General Secretary, ODA, for the opening prayer. Please a round of applause for him.
Praise God. Please, let's rise for a short prayer. In Jesus' name. Father, we'll thank you for this opportunity to gather before you today. As we continue and start discussing about the peace in Osun State, you will grant us the effrontery to be able to do what we preach. I pray that peace will reign in Osun State. As we start the issue of this charter, come and minister unto us in the name of Jesus. Come and guide us and let this charter come to reality in Jesus' name. And there will be no chaos in Osun State. All of us that have traveled to come over here, by the end of the program, as we go back, we'll go back in peace, and the state will be better for it. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all welcome to this summit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to quickly introduce some special guests we have in our midst. We have here present with us the Deputy Governor of Osun State, representing His Excellency the Governor of Osun State, in person of Prince Kola Adewusi, the Deputy Governor of Osun State. Please a round of applause for. We also have here present the Royal Father for today, Alailua Oba Dr. Adedokun Abolarin Diorogun of Okeila, Orogun. Please a round of applause for him. We also have here present Dr. Sheye Oyeleye, DG Dawn Commission. Please a round of applause for him. We also have Dr. Shegun Aino, OFR Visual. Please a round of applause for him. We also have here present Dr. Tunji Olugbodi. Please a round of applause for him. Can we all just please clap our hands? Thank you. We also have here Osun REC, ably represented by Barrister Mrs. Toyin Babalola. Please a round of applause for her. We also have here present Osun CP, represented by ACP Ademola Adebayo. Please a round of applause for him. We also have here present retired Reverend A. Kayode Ogunriade Osun Khan. Please a round of applause for him. We also have present Alhaji Mustafa Olawuyi, head of the Osun Muslim community. Please a round of applause for him. We also have here present Commandant NSCDC, represented by DCC O Kike Lomo. Please a round of applause for her. We also have representative of the AIG Zone 11 here present. Please a round of applause for them. Also, we have your party chairman and all candidates. Please a round of applause for them. And also we have gentlemen of the press. Please a round of applause for them also, ladies and gentlemen. And together, can we all just jump our hands together for ourselves for making it through to this summit. Ladies and gentlemen, quickly without wasting much of our time, I would like to have the welcome address remarked by the ODA chairman, but ably represented here today by Dr. Tunji Olugbodi. Please a round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I think it's important that I introduce myself properly. I'm wearing two caps today. My name is Tunji Olugbodi, but I'm here representing the chairman of ODA, who is unavoidably absent in the person of Dr. Shegun Lawrence Ayina. He had planned to be here, but some other exigencies kept him out of the country, so he's unable to make it. But I dare say that he has very good and strong representatives, not just in me, but in others that I will introduce presently. My second cap is as the chairman of a committee under ODA called the Leadership Development Committee. We are the ones anchoring today's program on behalf of the ODA. That said, I'd like to recognize again the presence of Governor Asiwaju Senator Ademola Nuruddin Jackson Adeleke, who is ably represented by our father, our brother, our leader too, Prince Kola Adewusi. I'd like to recognize the presence of Oba Alailua, the Orogun of Okeila, Oba Adedokun Abolarin Kabiyesi. I'd like to recognize our distinguished stakeholders that we've called and who have answered us. The State Electoral Commissioner of INEC, Barrister Mrs. Toyin Babalola. I saw her a moment ago. She's somewhere here. I'd like to recognize the presence of Dr. Sheye Oyeleye, who incidentally is also a member of ODA, but who in substantive terms is the DG of Development Agenda for Western Nigeria. Is here today to give us the keynote address. I'd like to recognize the presence of the State Commissioner of Police, who is ably represented by ACP, Mr. Ademola Adebayo. You're welcome, sir. I'd like to recognize the presence of the representative of the State Director of DSS and the presence of Mr. Idowu Moses Eleyele. You're welcome, sir. I'd like to recognize the presence of DCC Afuye Kikelomo, who is standing in for the State Commandant of the Civil Defense. Is she here? Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. You're welcome. I'd like to recognize every other distinguished members of the public that are here, but especially the political parties that we have invited, and perhaps more importantly, members of the civil society organizations who are joint stakeholders with us in this very important assignment that we have. But before I progress, I did say that we're representing the larger number of ODA. I'd like to quickly recognize members of the OSUN Development Association that are here. I can see Prince Kayode Adeyemi, you're welcome, sir. I can see Prince Chris Adetayo. I can see Dr. Tunde Aworanti. I don't know, well, I've mentioned Dr. Sheye Ileye. In a moment, I'll talk more about the ODA, but thank you all for being here and for being part of this. I say a cabo, and I warmly welcome you all to the gathering that is convened in the service of Osun State in the best interest of all Osun State residents whose future will be shaped by the choices that we'll make in the gubernatorial election that is slated for August 15th. Please, shall we have some quiet in the house if you don't mind, please? Thank you. Now, it's very important to establish why we are here, because there have been a few notions about what's the purpose of this gathering. Is it a political gathering? Are we usurping people's roles and all of that? So we are here because we are approximately 4 weeks from a governorship election that will determine who leads this state for the next 4 years. An election that, if conducted well, could become a landmark demonstration that Nigerian democracy is maturing. An election that, if conducted poorly, will deepen the wounds of institutional distrust. And the real work of democracy is what happens in the weeks, in the months, and years after the votes are counted. So this summit is designed around those three imperatives, and everything we do to do here today in the weeks that follow is anchored in that conviction. What is the mandate of the ODA? Why does this moment call for civic leadership? Please allow me to reiterate that the Osun Development Association is not a political party, a political group, or a political platform. ODA is a non-partisan and wholly committed to contributing to the development of the state. For over 3 decades, ODA has invested in the human and institutional capital of the state. We have engaged in education, on healthcare, on infrastructure, on economic development, on youth empowerment. We have organized debates, we have facilitated peace accords, we have convened difficult conversations, and we have done all of this not because it was easy or popular, but because we believe deeply, irreversibly, that development cannot flourish without democratic stability, and democratic stability cannot endure without civic accountability. This initiative, the Osun 26 Democratic Governance, Peace and Electoral Integrity Initiative, is therefore an expression of our founding purpose. Let me also be candid about what prompted the urgency of this gathering. The pre-election environment in Osun State has already displayed warning signs that should concern every responsible individual or institution. We refuse to treat the threat of electoral violence as an unfortunate inevitability. We are here precisely because we believe that with the right intervention at the right time by credible institutions, the trajectory of an election that can be changed, not by suppressing political competition, which is the lifeblood of democracy, but by elevating the standards by which that competition is conducted. And just a word to our institutions, especially INEC and the security agencies. We want to urge all connected with the coming election to do the right things in the interest of our people. To the INEC, State INEC, and the officers of INEC in Osun State, your institution carries the weight of sovereign trusts of this state's electorate. Every registered voter who wakes up on election day and makes the journey to their polling unit does so with the fundamental expectation that their votes will count, that the process will be transparent, and that the outcome will reflect the genuine will of the people. We commend your commitment to electoral integrity, and we urge you to deploy every institutional resource, every procedural safeguard, every regulatory authority at your disposal to ensure that the 15th of August 2026 governorship election is conducted with the credibility and professionalism that the people of Osun State deserve. To all our security agencies, democracy cannot breathe in an atmosphere of fear. Every voter has a constitutional right to arrive at a polling unit peacefully, cast their ballots freely, and return home safely. We call upon you to fulfill your mandate with absolute professional neutrality to protect every citizen regardless of their political affiliation, and to ensure that Election Day in Osun State is a day of civic dignity and not civic terror. We stand ready to collaborate with you on this mission. The Peace Charter that we're talking about today, just a little word about the Peace Charter. Today, with your support and understanding, we hope to witness the signing of two landmark documents, the Osun 2026 Election Peace Charter and the Governance Accountability Charter. The Peace Charter is a commitment to conduct to non-violence, to issue-based campaigning, to respect for electoral institutions, to the protection of voters, to acceptance of results, through constitutional channels, to post-election peace regardless of outcome. Every party and every candidate that signs this charter today does so publicly before the people of Osun State. I wish to commend unreservedly the political parties and the governorship candidates who have chosen to participate in this process. Your presence here today is itself a statement. It signals that you respect the democratic process. It signals that you understand that elections are won through ideas and not through intimidation. And it signals that you are prepared to be held to account for your conduct in the weeks ahead. May I just add at this point that the presence of the deputy governor representing the governor is also an attestation to how seriously this is held in the quarters that matter. Indeed, we sent out invitation to all the parties, all political parties, and especially all those who are registered to contest in the forthcoming election. So I need to say that, because the governor is here represented, it's not because there's any preferential treatment, it's because they did acknowledge the fact that we have a very important assignment to do. I repeat again, the ODA is an apolitical association, and we are definitely neutral in this game that is imminent. The Governance Accountability Charter is in some ways a more consequential one. It articulates the non-negotiable governance expectations of Osun citizens from whoever emerges as the next governor. It speaks to education, because every child in this state deserves a functioning school with a qualified teacher. It speaks to health care, because every mother deserves a functioning primary health center within the reach of her community. It speaks to infrastructure, to security, to youth employment, to fiscal transparency, to gender equity or equality, to constructive citizen engagement. Therefore, whoever is privileged to receive the mandate of the people of Osun State in August as governor is expected to ensure compliance with the Governor's Accountability Charter as drawn up by the ODA. And this will stand ready, the ODA will stand ready to support and will also track performance against this commitment. And we consider this as a responsibility of every stakeholder, every person, especially our traditional leaders, our religious institutions, the media organizations, civil society organizations. Everybody carries a responsibility for the character of the 2026 election. And we have no doubt that we are all ready and determined to play our role. A special admonition for our youth: you are not merely the leaders of tomorrow, you are citizens of today. Do not allow your energy, your passion, your ambition to be weaponized for electoral violence. Your future is worth more than political currency that any patron seeks to put in your pocket. Vote, organize, speak, but do it with your dignity intact. And to our citizens, register, collect your PVC, inform yourself about the candidates and their programs. Vote according to your conscience, your judgment, and your genuine assessment of who is best to lead Osun State. And then hold whoever wins accountable for every promise made and every commitment given. Our vision goes beyond the election day. An election is not an ending, it is a beginning. It is the moment at which a mandate is conferred, a mandate that carries obligations, expectations, and consequences. The work of democratic citizenship does not conclude at the polling unit. It intensifies after it. We envision for Osun State a democracy that is permanently alive, where citizens hold power accountable between elections, not just at elections, where governance data is publicly accessible and publicly interrogated, where the voices of women, of youth, of the marginalized, and the poorer poor are not mere footnotes in political discourse, but central characters in governance deliberation. We envision and we are committed to building through our various platforms and institutional infrastructure for ongoing civic accountability. That is ODA's long-term commitment to the people of this state, not a one-election intervention, but a permanent partnership in governance accountability. And in closing, I'd like to close with a question. And this is to prick our conscience. What legacy would we leave? When the August election is conducted, when the counting is done, when the courts have had their say, when the dust of campaigning are settled, what will Osun State look like? What will we be able to say honestly about the character of this election? Will we be able to say that it was peaceful? Will we be able to say that it was free, that votes chose without fear? That it was fair, that the process was credible and transparent? That it was issue-based, that the people were genuinely informed about the governor's choices before them? That the result, whatever it was, reflected the authentic will of the electorate? The answer to those questions are not determined by fate. They are determined by the choices we make. Choices made by political leaders about how they campaign. Choices made by the party agents about how they conduct themselves on election day, choices made by security personnel about where their loyalty lies to the Constitution, or to patronage choices made by citizens about whether they vote their conscience or sell their franchise. And choices made by institutions like the OSUN Development Association about whether we speak when speaking was uncomfortable and act when action is necessary. We have made a choice. We are here. We will remain engaged. We will monitor. We will report. We will advocate and hold accountable without fear, without favor, and without apology. Let us choose accountability. Let us choose a future that is worthy of this extraordinary state and its extraordinary people. I thank you for listening, and I welcome you to this summit. God bless you all. Thank you.
Can we all just jam our hands together once more for him? Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please, I'd like to say that wherever we are seated, please, if you have a space in front of you, kindly fill up that space. Please, can we just move forward to fill up the space at our front? Thank you. While he was giving a speech, we have here present with us Honorable Bumi Janyo, Honorable Commissioner of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, OSUN'S State. Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you very much, sir, for joining. National Orientation Agency State Director, Adebi Stephen. Please, a round of applause for him. And also representing the Islamic community, we have here Alhaji Akari Dolu Abdul Ganiu. Please, a round of applause for him. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're going to go straight to the goodwill messages. And to start with, we would like to make welcome JDPMC. Please, a round of applause for them.
Distinguished guests, representatives of government, leaders of political parties, religious and traditional leaders, members of civil society organizations here present, security agencies, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. I stand before you today on behalf of the General Coordinator of Justice, Development and Peacemakers Center, JDPMC, Reverend Father Peter Akinkumi, who is currently unavoidably absent. He sends his warm regard to the convener of this summit and best wishes to all participants gathered here for this important summit. The 2026 Democratic Governance, Peace and Electoral Integrity Summit comes at a critical moment in the political journey of Osun State as we prepare for the August 2026 governorship election. While elections remain a legitimate means through which citizens exercise their democratic rights, recent developments in the political landscape call for serious reflection and collective action. There have been growing concerns over rising political tensions, reported incidents of violence, the destruction of campaign materials, and an increasing shift from issue-based political engagement to personality-driven contestation. These developments pose significant threats to democratic governance, peaceful coexistence, and the credibility of the electoral process. This summit, therefore, provides a timely platform for all stakeholders to engage in sincere dialogue, strengthen mutual trust, and reaffirm their commitment to democratic principles, electoral integrity, and peaceful participation. It offers us an opportunity to collectively promote a political culture where ideas triumph over intimidation, where debates focus on policies rather than personalities, and where political competition is guided by respect of human dignity and the rule of law. As stakeholders in the democratic process, we all have responsibilities to discharge. Political actors must conduct their campaigns with restraint and civility. Security agencies must remain professional and impartial. The media must promote responsible reporting. Religious and traditional leaders must continue to serve as voices of peace and reconciliation, while citizens must remain committed to lawful and peaceful participation. As we deliberate today, may our discussions move beyond identifying challenges to producing practical recommendations and measurable actions that will strengthen democratic governance, enhance electoral integrity, prevent violence, and promote peaceful coexistence before, during, and after the election. On behalf of the Justice Development and Peacemaker Center, JDPMC, I commend the organizers and partners for receiving this timely and strategic summit. It is our hope that the outcomes of this gathering will contribute meaningfully to a peaceful, free, fair, credible, and transparent governorship election in Osun State. May our collective effort deepen democracy, strengthen public trust in our institutions, and secure a peaceful and prosperous future for the people of Osun State. Thank you, and may God bless us all.
Thank you. Please a round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. Quickly, we'd like to go straight to a goodwill message from Khan Christian Association of Nigeria. Please, let's make welcome Reverend Dr. John Adeleke, the state chairman, Khan. Please a round of applause for him. Please, I'd like to say that the messages should please stay with 2 minutes. Thank you, sir.
KBC, Your Excellency, the representative of the Commissioner of Police, and our mother for her neck, and all the pressmen. I'm here to speak on the behalf of all the Christians in Osun State, especially on this coming election. The Bible said to us that we shall follow peace with all men and holiness, without which no one will see the Lord. The Bible says we should pursue peace. And the Bible says we should let the peace of God rule our hearts. The responsibility of peace belongs to us. We are the one to pursue it. We are the one to let it rule our hearts. I want to beseech every one of us, more especially the political actors. Politics is a game. And come what may, only a single person is going to win. So, let there be peace. Let there be peace. And let there be peace. Peace is paramount. Without peace, there will not be any progress. Therefore, today, we are speaking to you as Christians in OSUN. I've communicated many Christians leaders. We have preached that everyone should preach peace in our pulpits within these days, during the election, and after the election. But it's something to preach it. It's another thing to accept it. I want to tell you that God is looking. I'm speaking to every political party that is here. God is looking, and God is going to judge. If you take the life of anyone, shed any blood, you are the one to be accountable for it. Therefore, please, let there be peace. The Lord bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. So quickly, we would like to go to Islamic Council, who is represented by Alhaji Akorede Abdul Ganiu. Please, a round of applause for him.
With all protocols observed, Kabiyesi and every one of us sitting down here, our Muslim community stands on peaceful coexistence in Nigeria, and also in particular, all Yoruba people, we are descendants of Oduduwa, and we do not want any election immersed in blood. We have been saying this, that killing ourselves to win election is not the proper way to do it. And we are imploring all the political parties, all those people that are involved in watching the election, that we are sons and daughters of the same fathers and mothers. We should not be killing ourselves. And we stand on that everybody that kills anybody is a sinner and will be judged accordingly by God Almighty. Thank you very much.
Please, a round of applause for him. Thank you so very much, sir. I was told that we have here present the commandant of the NSCDC, that is Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. And after which I'm going to call her to come speak quickly. But for now, let's make welcome, standing in for the police commissioner in OSUN State, in other person but ASP Ademola Adebayo. Please, a round of applause for him. ACP.
Expect a message from my lawyers. Kabiyesi, sir. My name is Ademola Adebayo. I'm an assistant commissioner of police. I'm in charge of administration for OSUN State Police Command. So I think you have it now. So I want to please stand on the 16 protocol ably established by the chairman of ODA. Let me start by saying I'm representing the Commissioner of Police. And I want to start also by introducing myself as an Igbomina man. Baba Eko. And you know Igbomina men, we are known, when you talk of Omoluabi, we are known for that. I always tell people that when we were selling things in Lagos in those days, Baba Agbona, tó bá ń ta bàtà, ó yá wọ̀ ó yá wọ̀ sẹ́sẹ̀, ó yá múrin lọ́kọ́ múrin bọ̀. Àwọn ọmọ Èkó bá mú bàtà rìn lọ ní ẹ̀bá ní múrin bọ̀ mọ́. Ìyẹn ni a kọ́ wa lọ́gbọ́n. And by saying that, by extension, I'm also saying that I'm a Yoruba man. And I have traveled to some countries of the world. I may not be so traveled like all my babas in front here. But at least the little places that we have gone, anywhere you see a Yoruba man, they always assess us based on the way we were brought up from our homes. They say they are men of peace, isn't it? They say they are men of peace and they are men of good courage. They respect themselves. And when they may not know the name, but when we come back here, it is because we are Omoluabis. That is always at the back of our mind anywhere we go. And Osun State is the cradle of our existence and our civilization. So we expect the best in Osun because this is the origin of the Yorubas. I've not worked in Osun before, but when I was growing up, I come from family of farmers or community of farmers. So we plant cocoa, we go to Omifufu, Meforade, Ayoba, all those ones. So that's the place we grew up. So now, I am now in Osun. I expect to meet the best here. And I want to throw a challenge today. That the way we are playing our politics now in Osun State, are we playing it with Omoluabi mantra that we always carry everywhere we go? Does Omoluabi carry cutlass and lynch the other person? Does Omoluabi carry gun to play politics? It's a food for thought. And Osetoto bi owe eyin agba. Wọ́n ní ọba tó jẹ tá a fi iyùn bọ́lẹ̀ orúkọ rẹ̀ ò ní parun. Èyí tó sì jẹ tá a sì lọ ń wú iyùn ọ̀hún tá a lọ ń kó ta lọ́jà náà òun náà tún nítàn títí ẹ̀. Àsìkò tiyín rèé o. Are you playing the politics the way you are playing it? I have spoken like an Igbo man and an Yoruba man. And I want to now deliver the message of the Commissioner of Police because I am not here for myself. The Commissioner of Police asked me to thank the organizers and actually that this program couldn't have come at a better position, at a better time other than this, that we are going through an electioneering cycle. He wants me to thank you for your cooperation so far and he solicits for more. And he expects that everybody will cooperate with the police so that we can be able to deliver our mandate and prove to you that we are your friends and we are your friends indeed. Thank you very much.
This is a round of applause for him. Once more, ACP Ademola. ACP. Yeah, I have to. Okay. Ademola Adebayo. Please, a round of applause for him once more. So I'd like to say that don't involve your lawyer. In case you decide to involve your lawyer, I have a lawyer. So, but my lawyer, I have a lawyer too. In case my lawyer no win, they will put me and my lawyer for one place. Then in lawyer go they fight to release us. That's it. All right, thank you. So quickly, we'll have to take the good message from the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. Please, let's welcome DCC Afuye O Kikelomo. Please, a round of applause for her.
Excellency, sir, ably represented by the Deputy Governor of the state, our Royal Father here seated, please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. I stand here today before you, bringing warm greetings and heartfelt message of goodwill on behalf of my Commandant Shotiyo Igbalawole Emmanuel. He's unable to join you in person today due to urgent optional commitments, but extend his unwavering support for this summit. We understand that the integrity of an election is deeply connected to a secure, peaceful, and intimidation-free environment. True democratic participation can only thrive when citizens, electoral officials, and materials are fully protected. NSCD Act 2003 and its Amendment Act 2007 empower NSCDC to carry out general security duties of national assignments such as general elections. For the purpose of this election, the Corps shall be deploying adequate numbers of personnel to ensure effective security coverage, safety of life, critical national assets, and infrastructure before, during, and after election. NSCDC plays a critical supportive role in election monitoring and security. As a key member of the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security, ICCES, we are fully committed to working with other security agencies to ensure free, fair, and credible election. On behalf of my commandants, Commandant Shotiyo Igbalawole Emmanuel, I wish a highly productive deliberation, actionable resolution, and successful summits. And I also wish us more secure, future, and electoral system. Thank you so much.
Please, a round of applause for her, ladies and gentlemen. I'm speaking for Osun State Independent National Electoral Commission. Let's make welcome Barrister Mrs. Toyin Babalola. Please, a round of applause for her. Can we all just clap our hands, please?
Thank you very much. The organizers of this event, Osun Development Association, our royal father here present, representatives of security agencies, all other protocols observed. It is my pleasure, it is with great pleasure that I join this gathering of eminent sons and daughters of Osun State and all other critical stakeholders at this event today. I want to sincerely commend Osun Development Association, particularly its leadership and governance committee, for this timely, visionary, and patriotic initiative. This summit couldn't have come at a better time as preparations gather momentum for the 15th August 2026 Osun State governorship election. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to state particularly that every election presents a choice to every citizen, to every voter. It is not merely a choice of candidates or political parties. It is also a choice between peace and violence, between peace and a secured environment, between unity and division, between hope and fear, between democratic maturity and regression. The forthcoming governorship election offers citizens of Osun State another opportunity to demonstrate that political competition does not need to become political confrontation. At INEC, we remain fully committed to conducting an election that is free, fair, credible, transparent, inclusive, and peaceful. We are in full collaboration with all security agencies in Osun State, and from our workings with them, they have given us assurance that the election will be conducted in a peaceful and secured environment. Our collaboration with the agencies is through the Interagency Consultative Committee on Election Security. INEC alone cannot guarantee peaceful election. Peace is a shared responsibility. Electoral integrity is a collective responsibility. Every stakeholder has a role. Parties must educate and restrain their supporters. Candidates must campaign on ideas. Supporters must reject violence and embrace tolerance. Security agencies, I am very sure, will remain professional, impartial, and law-abiding. Our traditional rulers, religious leaders, and community leaders, we need them to continue to preach peace and moderation to their citizens. The media must report responsibly, verify your facts before publication, and avoid sensationalism capable of inflaming negative passion. Civil societies should continue with their voter education and election observation efforts with objectivity and patriotism. Above all, citizens of Osun State must refuse to become instruments of violence. Voters must refuse to sell their votes to buyers of vote. The success of the forthcoming election should not be measured only by what happens on election day. Election is a process. It's not a one-day affair. It's not an event. The success begins long before polling day and continues after results have been declared. On this note, I urge all stakeholders to commit themselves to peace before, during, and after the election. Let us reject inflammatory language, violence of any sort, and all acts capable of creating unnecessary tension. On election day, I appeal to every voter to conduct themselves peacefully, obey electoral guidelines, cooperate with election officials and security personnel, and respect the sanctity of the ballot. Permit me to assure the good people of Osun State that INEC has continued to strengthen its operational preparedness through intensive stakeholder engagement, voter education, training of election personnel, collaboration with security agencies, and sustained partnership with civil society organizations and development partners. Our commitment remains unwavering. Every valid vote will count. Every accredited voter will have the opportunity to exercise his or her franchise. Every lawful vote will be protected. As election managers, we remain guided by the principles of neutrality, transparency, professionalism, inclusiveness, and accountability. As I conclude, I want to commend the organizers of this event for this remarkable demonstration of civic leadership. Your effort will contribute significantly to reducing electoral tension, strengthening public confidence, encouraging peaceful participation, and improving voter turnout. Let us therefore leave the summit with one common resolve, that no political ambition is worth the blood of any citizen. Every disagreement must remain within the boundaries of the law, and that every vote must count and every voter matters. And that together we shall deliver an election that will further consolidate Osun State's reputation as a beacon of democratic excellence. May peace prevail across every community in Osun State. May democracy continue to flourish in Osun State. May God bless Osun State, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. Please a round of applause for her. Please, can we all just jam our hands together for once more?
Sorry, I have to take over from the MC just for a special reason. If you check the program.
My great pleasure to be before you this afternoon. Standing in for my principal, His Excellency Senator Ademola Jackson Nurudeen Adeleke, who would have loved to be here himself, but as you know, we're in our season now, so he's unable to be here. I want to recognize our father, His Royal Majesty Oba Adedokun Omoni Abolarin, the Orogun of Okela, Baba. I recognize you, sir. My dear brother, the DG Dan Commission, I recognize you. Well, please, for want of time, let me just adopt the already established protocol. I recognize everyone that are here, please. Please permit me to say one or two things before I go on to read the message from His Excellency. I want to especially appreciate the organizer of this program. It's coming at a very good time, but at the same time, elections are approaching like this. We needed orientation, reorientations at all times, so that our people will get used to what they ought to do at the appropriate time. Because coming up at this time, to me, it amounts to like a fire brigade approach. Let us organize similar thing during the year, beginning of the year, middle of the year, and when elections are coming up like this, so that our people will have get used to what it ought to be. It's like training a child. You can only train of the OSUN Development Association for this timely and important summit on democratic governance, peace, and electoral integrity. I wish to deeply appreciate the leadership of the association for bringing together critical stakeholders to deliberate on issues that are fundamental to the future of our democracy. I commend your commitment to promoting civic participation, democratic accountability, and peaceful coexistence in our dear state. The theme of this summit, Speak, Choose, Hold Accountable, Citizens at the Center of OSUN'S Democracy, reminds us that democracy derives its legitimacy from the freely expressed will of the people. Every election must therefore protect the right of citizens to speak freely, participate without fear, and choose their leaders through the ballot. As we approach the 2026 governorship election, I wish to reaffirm my unwavering commitment to the rule of law, constitutional democracy, and peaceful political engagement. Throughout my administration, we have demonstrated that political power should never be used as an instrument of intimidation or oppression. Even in the face of provocations and incidents of political violence that have unfortunately characterized our political environment, our government has remained calm, restrained, and committed to lawful responses. We have consistently allowed the law to take its course while working closely with security agencies to maintain peace and public order. Our belief is simply that no political ambition is worth the blood of any citizen, and no office is more valuable than the life of a single man, woman, or child. I therefore call on every political party, every candidate, every supporter, and every stakeholder to reject violence in all its forms. Elections should never become a contest of intimidation, harassment, destruction of property, maiming, or killing. Political differences must never turn neighbors into enemies or communities into battlefields. The people of Osun deserve an election where every eligible voter can cast his or her vote freely without fear, coercion, or manipulation. Let our votes determine the outcome of the election, not violence. Let persuasion triumph over intimidation, and let ideas prevail over hostilities. I equally call on our traditional rulers, religious leaders, community leaders, civil society organizations, the media, youth groups, and women organizations to continue playing their vital role as advocates for peace. Your votes carry enormous influence, and your interventions can help prevent conflict before it occurs. To our security agencies, I commend your sacrifices and professionalism. I urge you to remain impartial, vigilant, and committed to your constitutional responsibility of protecting every citizen without fear or favor. The confidence of the electorate depends greatly on the neutrality and professionalism of those entrusted with maintaining law and order. The Independent National Electoral Commission also has a crucial responsibility to ensure that the electoral process remains transparent, credible, and worthy of public confidence. Every legitimate vote must count, and every voter must have confidence that the outcomes truly reflect the will of the people. Our government will continue to provide every necessary support to ensure a peaceful, free, and credible election. We shall continue to engage all relevant stakeholders, strengthen collaboration with security agencies, and encourage continuous dialogue as the election approaches. Beyond the election itself, we must remember that we all have a shared responsibility to preserve the peace of Osun State. Campaigns will end, elections will come and go, but our collective duty to live together as people will remain. We must therefore conduct ourselves before, during, and after the election in ways that strengthen our unity rather than divide us. Let history remember the 2026 governorship election as one in which the people of Osun demonstrated political maturity, rejected violence, and deepened democratic governance through peaceful participation. On our part, we remain committed to leading by example through respect for the law, respect for democratic institutions, and respect for the sovereign will of the people. Once again, I commend the Osun Development Association for this noble initiative, and I thank every participant for contributing to the advancement of democracy in our state. May God continue to grant us peace. I thank you all for your attention. God bless Osun State. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you all.
All right, quickly, we'll have to take photographs.
May I ask that KPC please join us here? The keynote speaker, the Assistant Commissioner of Police, please.
right, ladies and gentlemen, please, we'll be having a little short 5 minutes break, and we'll return after 5 minutes. So we can use this time to network, use this time to create link within ourselves. So DJ, please help us with a light song. For 5 minutes, we'll be back.
bàbá jọ̀wọ́ má jẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ìrànlọ́wọ́ ra wá ẹ̀dá wá dọ̀wọ́ rẹ̀ bàbá ọlọ́run rọrùn dákun má jẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́.
All right, thank you, DJ. Please, can we, at this point, continue? I'd like to say that Honorable Bomijanyo is standing in for the Deputy Governor. Thank you very much, sir. Right, quickly, I'd like to recognize, standing in for the Executive Governor of OSUN'S State. Thank you, sir. All right, I'd like to say that and also recognize the parties we have here present. I know too well that we are still expecting some, but let's recognize the ones we have here present. We have here present with us the Accord Party. Please a round of applause for them. We have here Accord Party. We have here Action Alliance, AC. We have here present African Action Congress, AAC. We have here present African Democratic Congress, ADC. We have here present African Democratic Party, ADP. We have All Progressive Congress, APC. We have All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA. We have Alliance People's Movement, APM. We have Action People Party, APP. We have both Party, BP. We have New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP. We have People Redemption Party, PRP. We have Young Progressive Party, YPP. And we have Labour Party. Okay, Zenith Labour Party, ZLP. Please a round of applause for all these parties here present. Without wasting much of our time, ladies and gentlemen, moving on to the keynote, we would like to make welcome. We'd like to make welcome Dr. Sheye Oyeleye, DG Dawn Commissions. Please a round of applause for him.
The Executive Governor of Osun State, ably represented by the Honorable Commissioner for Trade and Investments, Reverend Bomijanyo. Kábíyèsí, the Ọ̀ràngún of Òkèlá, Kábíyèsí Ọba Adédòkun Abọ́lárìn. Distinguished audience, members of Osun Development Association, the good people of Osun State, and also here present members of the Fourth Estate of the Realm. Good afternoon. My name is Sheye Oyeleye. I'm the Commissioner for Police, ably represented. Good afternoon, sir. I should have greeted you first. Hello, my Jarejo. If I ever thought, and before I go into my paper, if I ever thought, why are we having this peace summit? Coming into Osun State this morning, traveling from Ibadan, the moment we entered the state and seeing the beautiful billboards destroyed, damaged, I told myself, this shouldn't be. This is not us. This is not us. What signal are we sending? Signal of intolerance? That we even find billboards threatening that we have to destroy billboards. That shouldn't be. So once again, I am grateful that Osun Development Association, of which I'm a member as well, that we are organizing this. The moment Egbon reached out to me, I said yes, even without checking diary, because this is my state. So I have to be here. Whatever the schedule, this must stop. So thank you. I will go straight into my paper. I know that time is fast spent, but we have to do what we have to do. I've titled it Peace Before Progress, Why the 2026 Osun Election. It's a referendum on Southwest Nigeria's capacity for peaceful development-driven democracy. And to the journalists present here, if I have your email, I will send you a soft copy. Preamble. I said, we do not convene this Peace Charter Summit because we doubt the resolve of the people of Osun State to vote. We convene it because we have learnt, sometimes at great cost, that the vote itself is not the measure of democracy. It is merely the surface. What lies beneath the vote, the conduct of those who seek it, the temperament of those who organize it, and the character of those who lose it, is the true foundation upon which any state development is built or buried. This is the order of things, and it has always been the order of things. Peace first, then process. Process first, then participation. Participation first, then progress. A state cannot skip a step in this chain and expect the next to hold. Osun State stands today at that link of the chain, and what happens here in August will tell us with more honesty than any manifesto whether the next link, development, is even within our reach. The reason for this summit is therefore not to lecture political parties and their candidates on the importance of peace, as though peace were a matter of etiquette. It is to establish plainly and without apology that peace is not a precondition we politely request of those who seek to lead Osun State. It is the very ground on which the legitimacy of their leadership shall be tested. A man who cannot keep peace while seeking leadership position has already disqualified himself from the duty of keeping development once power is granted. In other words, before development can be reaped, the soil of the state must first be cleared of violence. The reform that brought us here. This summit does not rest its arguments for peace on sentiments alone. It rests on one of the most empirically tested and institutionally endorsed frameworks in political science, economics, and international relations, the Peace First Development Model. This model's core proposition states that stable peace and security are not byproducts of wealth. They are foundational bedrock upon which wealth is built. You do not first develop a state and then enjoy peace as its reward. You first secure peace, and then, only then, does development become possible. This is the intellectual architecture that underpins what the United Nations and the United Nations Development Program, formerly called the Humanitarian Development Peace Nexus, a framework adopted by global institutions precisely because the evidence from post-conflict and developing societies, from Rwanda to Colombia to Sierra Leone, consistently confirms what the model predicts. Where peace collapses, development collapses with it. Where peace is secured and sustained, development follows as a near inevitable consequence. The model reemphasizes that development projects require time to mature, and time requires stability. There is no utility in building roads, electrical grids, or schools if they will be destroyed by civil unrest before the next administration completes them. The most ambitious infrastructure plan in the world produces nothing if the political environment in which they are cited is too volatile to protect them across electoral cycles. It is against this global framework that Nigeria's most recent attempt at institutional reform, the Electoral Act 2026, must be understood. If the Peace First model identifies institutional stability as one of the nodes in the development chain, then the Electoral Act was Nigeria's legislative attempt to build that node towards the 2027 general election. The 2026 Act, with its abolition of indirect primaries, its criminalization of dual party membership, and its frozen membership registers, was Nigeria's most ambitious attempt yet to discipline that process into something resembling genuine grassroots democracy. In doing so, it attempted to insert institutional stability into the heart of party politics, to make the nomination process itself a transparent, participatory, and therefore legitimate exercise from which a candidate could emerge with a genuine mandate rather than a purchased one. From recent developments, we can also see that the sophistication of Nigeria's political class has consistently outpaced the sophistication of its laws. Within weeks of the act's primaries taking effect, politicians who lost their primaries were already finding their way around the provision designed to lock them out, exploiting court rulings and administrative gaps that the law drafters had not anticipated. The Federal High Court's nullification of INEC's own timetable and the immediate exploitation of that ruling, prominent politicians proved in real time what political historians have long argued. Rules by themselves do not change culture. Culture changes when the people themselves decide what they will and will not accept. This is precisely where the Peace Charter Summit comes necessary, and why it occupies a different and irreplaceable space from what the Electoral Act attempted. The Act addresses the architecture of party primaries. It adjusts the mechanics of candidates' nomination. It criminalizes party switching and mandates digital verification. But there is a level of political culture that the Act of the National Assembly may not cover. The decision made by a politician at the moment of defeat, the instruction given quietly to a loyalist on the eve of an election, the tolerance shown by party's leadership when its thugs break a 14-year-old's body in the community. Osun as another test of 2027. Anticipating the 2027 nationwide elections, Osun's August 2026 gubernatorial poll is the Southwest's second major electoral contest after Ekiti. Osun, therefore, serves as a laboratory. Whether its primaries are peaceful or violent, its campaigns wage on ideas or thug violence, and its losers concede with dignity or incite disruption, these outcomes will be read by every politician, godfather, and voter across Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Ondo, and Ekiti as a signal of what is now permissible under the new electoral order. If Osun conducts itself peacefully, it sets a standard the rest of the region must rise to meet. If Osun descends into violence, it lowers the bar for every state that follows it in 2027. This is the weight Osun now carries, not by its own choosing, but by the simple accident of the electoral calendar. To the people of Osun State, you are not merely choosing your own governor. You are, in a real sense, setting the tone for how the entire Southwest will choose its leaders for the next electoral cycle. It is for this reason that this paper insists that developments cannot be discussed in isolation from the conduct of the election that precedes it. A region's development trajectory is only as strong as the political processes that produce its leadership. If the process that produced the Osun's next governor is corrupted by violence, intimidation, or thuggery, then whatever development promises emerge from the process inherit the same corruption at their foundation. A house built on cracked foundation does not become sound merely because its walls are well painted. The state of the peace and what we have seen so far, we cannot speak of peace in the abstract when Osun State has already, in the build-up to this election, shown us what the absence of peace looks like in the flesh. In recent weeks, the state has recorded a series of disturbing incidents, acts of thuggery, sporadic clashes between rival political camps, and intimidation of ordinary citizens going about their lawful business in the electioneering season. Chief among these, and the incident that must anchor the conscience of this summit, was presented in the data from the Kimpact Development Initiative and reports from the Osun Defender documents at least 44 election-related incidents between October 2025 and late June, resulting in 13 deaths. Recent targeted killings, including the murder of people like Kolade Eluyera, Busi Aderogba, as well as the fatal shooting of a 14-year-old boy in Ilo Town. Now, a 14-year-old boy did not choose a party. He did not contest a primary. He did not stand to gain or lose single appointment from the outcome of this election. He was by every measure that matters an innocent bystander to a contest that adults are supposed to conduct with restraint. His death is not a statistic to be cited and moved past. It is an indictment on our conscience in Osun. If a child can be killed in the shadow of our politics, then something in our political culture has already failed. Not on election day, but long before it, in the permissiveness with which thuggery has been allowed to attach itself to electioneering, as though it were a normal and unavoidable feature of the process. It is neither normal nor unavoidable. It is a choice that political actors make, and a choice that the people of Osun State must now refuse to tolerate from anyone, regardless of which party they belong to. Of course, this is not the first such incident in Nigeria's recent electoral history, and Osun is not unique in having recorded it. But it must be the last such incident this summit is willing to treat as merely regrettable. A society that becomes accustomed to violence at the price of democracy has already lost something far more valuable than any single election. It has lost its right to call itself a developing society at all. Development and casual violence cannot occupy the same political culture for long. One will eventually consume the other. It is the conviction of this summit and the Osun Development Association which convenes it that the killing of this child, the reports of thuggery and other violent incidents that have attended the campaign season are not isolated tragedies to be mourned and forgotten. They are warnings. They are the state speaking to itself in the only language that violence knows. But what is at stake if the coming weeks are not deliberately and forcefully redirected towards peace? Let it be understood that this Peace Charter Summit is not a platform from which the ODA, or Osun Development Association, admonishes political parties and their candidates as though peace were a favor we are requesting of them. It is a platform from which we establish openly and for the record the very culture upon which the development of Osun State must thrive, the Omoluabi culture, a culture that no candidate, regardless of party or popularity, is permitted to stand outside. The charter speaks to three audiences at once, and each bears a distinct portion of the responsibility for the peace this summit demands. To the political parties, parties must publicly and unambiguously disavow the use of thugs, hired agitators, or any form of coercive mobilization at every stage of the electioneering process, not merely on election day itself. Parties must take visible, swift, and verifiable disciplinary action against any member, agent, or affiliate found to have incited or participated in violence rather than offering quiet protection in exchange for loyalty. Parties must commit in writing before this summit to accepting the outcome of credible electoral process, win or lose, without resort to incitement, street mobilization, or extrajudicial disruption. To the candidates, every candidate seeking to lead Osun State not merely by their promises. A candidate's disposition toward peace is not a separate question from their fitness to govern. It is the first and most immediate evidence of the people have of how the candidate will govern once entrusted with power. Any candidate who tolerates or benefits from violence or disruption during this process has by that conduct alone disqualified themselves from the claim that they seek this office for the development of Osun State. Such a person should not be anti-development. To the people of Osun State, the people must understand that their vigilance it is not enough for a candidate to be peaceful. Peace is the floor and not the ceiling. A candidate may conduct a perfectly peaceful campaign and still possesses no coherent vision for the developmental future of this state. The people of Osun must therefore subject every candidate's manifesto to the same rigor that this charter has just demanded of their conduct. 9 development fronts have been identified on which every candidate, regardless of affiliation, must be held accountable. They must explain specifically and concretely which institutions, agencies, and resources they intend to deploy to achieve these results. A manifesto that speaks only the language. A manifesto that speaks only the language of development without telling us how you want to execute it is a waste of time. So, as I close, I mentioned these developmental issues for the audience to interrogate. 1, insecurity and state police. Osun's farmlands, highways, and forest fringes remain exposed. Does the candidate support state police, as an example? Number 2, food insecurity and agri development. What concrete agriculture value chain plan exists if you win that election? Number 3, very important, youth employment and industrialization. What industrial parks, skills, programs, or investment partnerships are proposed? A growing youth population without industrial absorption is itself a peace risk. Number 4, quality education and infrastructure. What is the costed plan for school infrastructure and teacher development? Number 5, affordable quality healthcare. How will primary healthcare centers be funded, staffed, and made accessible? Number 6, infrastructural development. Which specific roads, rural roads, energy projects, or rail linkages are prioritized? Number 6, community and rural development. What is the plan for the rural community? Number 7, electricity for industrialization. How will the candidate practically leverage the devolution of power to aid industrialization? And number 8, local government autonomy. How will the candidate respect full financial autonomy for Osun State's 30 local governments? For each of these 9 fronts, the Osun Development Association calls upon every candidate to answer not merely what do you intend, but with what resources, which agencies, and what's the timeline. This is precisely the discipline that this summit anticipates from Nigerian politicians under the new process. Osun State's electorate now holds in its hands the power to either accelerate or frustrate that path. If the people reward vague promises and accept thuggery as the cost of supporting their candidates, the passenger politician survives. If the people demand specificity, accountability, and peaceful conduct in equal measure, the passenger politician finally meets the end this summit's broader analysis foresaw for him. In conclusion, we return in closing to where we began. Development thrives in a peaceful environment. And the process that will chart that development of Osun State requires a peaceful procedural pattern. Peace first, process second, participation third. Progress last, and only as the fruit of the first tree. The death of a 14-year-old boy in the shadow of this campaign season
It's not a tragedy. This summit will allow to be forgotten by the time these ballots are counted. It is the clearest evidence that we possess the foundation this summit insists upon. It has not yet been laid to rest. It has not yet been laid. It is laid until every party, every candidate, and every supporter in Osun State demonstrates true conduct rather than.
I was given the assignment to have a short brief on the common good. This is a short address by me. This day, this program, organized by the ODA, titled Osun, the Common Good and the Choice Before Us. After establishing all necessary protocol, I now proceed. Ahead of the gubernatorial election on the 15th of August, politics is not war. Politics is stewardship. We will go to the polls again, not just to vote, but to answer one question. What kind of Osun do we want our children to inherit? The common good is not a slogan. It is schools where teachers are present and students are proud. Osun State is part of the old Western region, where free primary education was introduced in 1955, 71 years ago. Hospitals where a poor man can be treated with dignity. Roads that connect farms to markets and youth to opportunity. A civil service that serves, not that is served, and is adequately remunerated. A government that remembers the widow in Iyonfoworogi as much as the contractor in Osogbo. So, let this election be different. Let it be about ideas, not insults. About records, not rumors. Let candidates tell us how they will bend, because rigid leaders break, and how they will listen. To the people of Osun, your PVC is your voice. Use it. To the candidates, power is borrowed. History is watching. To our youth, you are not the leaders of tomorrow. You are the trustees of today. May God guide our voters. May God guide our leaders. May Osun continue to be the state of virtue, culture, and progress. May the good Lord continue to bless our state, Osun, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Please, can we all just quickly say it in one word? Thank you very much, sir. All right, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we would go straight to the interactive section, question and answer. So quickly, if you would have any question you'd like to ask, please, you can indicate while we'll take the questions. Okay. Please, also to join me in doing this, I'd like to make welcome Mr. Chris Adetayo, Publicity Secretary of ODA. Please, a round of applause for him, Mr. Chris. Please, if you have a question, can I get a second mic, please? Sound. Okay, we have one person already. A question. And I like to say that not just questions, you want to put a suggestion, you have something to say, you have an advice to give, quickly you can help us do that real quick.
Echo, I'm Prince Adesoji Masilo Adeleke, the Boot Party of some state chairman, double as Boot Party candidate. I appreciate the ODA. This is not their first time, but it was too late, sir. Too late, too late. When one man was shot at Oluode side, and another small boy was killed in a Repodu local government. I have one Baba, Professor Oluaina, very close to Dr. Seguaina, who happens to be your member. I called Baba and I sent all the photographs, video to Baba Oluaina that they should assist us to tell you about Osun to do what you are doing today, because they have been doing it before. I think right from 2003, I've been participating. But Baba Digun also was around then, maybe due to the death of Baba, other things. This thing is too late. It's better to do it as early as possible before the commencement of campaign. It would have been better. I still appreciate you. Too late is better than none. I said it time without number. The man that is representing Commissioner of Police, when Commissioner of Police had a meeting with us, I told him. When IG came, I told him, and IG made reference to it. And I don't think we have done anything about it. That our royal fathers, they should call chairmen of all political parties and their candidates. They have authority mouths. They have power. We will meet and he will call us to Ife. And in the name of Odudua, anybody who plan to destroy or to take Osun State into fire, Odudua should judge. Then individual KBAC in their different towns, they know their politicians. They need to call them into their palace and advise them and do what is necessary to be done in Yoruba language. Thank you and God bless.
So I would still go back to this section, but for now, please, let's quickly move to the signing of peace and accountability at this point, please. So would like to, can I have the moderator to please join me so we can do this real quick? And would like to introduce, would like to take the parties one after the other. I don't know how many parties we have here present, but the ones we have here would take all of them one after the other for them to come do this signing. Please, what's the DJ? Can you help us with the sound? Or the media, if you have any sound with you, can they help us with? Representative of parties, please, if you're outside, can they come inside so we can do the signing right now? DJ, please, we'll need a sound. Ladies and gentlemen, please, just a minute. We're going to go into the signing real quick. Just a minute, please. DJ, you can still keep it on. All right, chill. All right, real quick, to come have their seat, please, I'd like to make welcome Dr. Sheye Oyeleye, DG Dawn Commission. Please, a round of applause for him to come have his seat. And also, Right now, we are going to be starting the charter signing ceremony, and that is why we are calling up the DJ Dawn Commission, Sheye Oyeleye. Please, a round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen. And also to join him, I'd like to make welcome Chairman, Leadership and Governance Committee of ODA, Dr. Tunji Olugbodi. Please, a round of applause for him as he joins them up here. Please, can we clap for him, please, as he joins them up here. And I would like to also welcome Oba Dr. Adedokun Abolari, the Orogun of Okeila, Orogun. Please, a round of applause for Kabiesi as he joins them up here. All right, to start with, we'd like to start with the Accord Party. So please come forward for the signing. Representative of the Accord Party. All right, while we are doing this, Action Alliance, please get ready. Representative of Action Alliance, please get ready. You're coming next. All right, please, representative of Action Alliance, please come forward. All right, to make it faster, please, can we have the representative of African Action Congress? African Action Congress. African Democratic Congress, please get ready. African Democratic Congress, please get ready. African Democratic Congress, please get ready. Do we have a representative here? Please come forward. African Democratic Congress, please come forward. African Democratic Congress, please come forward. African Democratic Party, please come forward. African Democratic Party, please come forward. Do we have a representative? African Democratic Party. African Democratic Party. Do we have a representative? I called Congress before now. Please, if you do we have a representative for African Democratic Congress? Do we have a representative? African Democratic Party, do we have? Okay, please come. Have your seat, man. All Progressive Congress. All Progressive Congress. You have a representative? All Progressive Congress, do we have a representative? All Progressive Grand Alliance, do we have a representative? ABGA, do we have a representative, please? All right. ABGA. Aligned People Movement. Aligned People Movement. APM. Aligned People Movement, do we have anybody? Action People Party. Action People Party, APP. Do we have a representative, please? Do we have a representative for APP? Both Party. BP. New Nigerian People's Party, please get ready. Your representative. That is NNPP, New Nigerian People's Party. Okay, you're here. All right, let's have People Redemption Party, PRP. People Redemption Party. PRP. Young Progressive Party, YPP. Young Progressive Party. Zenith Labour Party, ZLP. Zenith Labour Party, ZLP. You coming further, sir? Okay, just the other way.
distance between us seems so great sometimes. How I need your love to fill this empty space. I keep a watching, I keep a waiting. I keep a watching, I keep waiting. I keep a watch, I keep waiting for some kind of sign. I keep a watching, I keep waiting. I keep a watch, I keep waiting. I keep a watch, a close watch on this heart of mine. Send me one sign. Tell me who you are. Send me one sign. Tell me just what might have been. Send me one sign. Tell me who you are. Send me one line. I know we'll never meet. I know you understand. Every shade of love and every dream I have to hide. Every day that slips away, I read your name again. And I try to push away the pain inside. I keep a watching, I keep waiting. I keep a watching, I keep waiting. I keep a watch, keep waiting for some kind of sign. I keep a watching, I keep waiting. I keep a watch, I keep waiting. I keep a watch, a close watch on this.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we just witnessed the signing of Peace Accountability Charter by all parties. Is all parties represented here? Please kindly come out. Everyone who had come here to sign, please come out for a group photograph quickly. Please come out for a group photograph. Everyone who had come to sign on behalf of their party, please come out for a group photograph. While we are putting that together, we would like to return back to the interactive section where if you have a comment, a suggestion, please, you would have to do that now. You just raise your hand and we'll give you the opportunity to. But please, all representative of each party, please come forward. Let's have a group photograph. Comment. Okay.
There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. In this place,
Just come forward for a group photograph. Once we're done with the photograph, we'll take comments quickly.
really try to find there's no need to cry. In this place, you find there's no hurt or sorrow. There are ways to
Just a minute, please. Once we're done with the last signing.
make a little space to make a better place. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for living, make a better place for you and for me. If you want to know why, there's a love that cannot lie. Love is strong, it only cares for joyful feeling. If we try, we shall see. In this bliss we cannot feel. Fear or dread, stop existing and stop living. And it feels that always love's enough when it's broken.
Can you see, please? Civil Defense, please kindly join us up here. Commissioner of Police, please join us up here for group photograph.
There's a place in your heart,
Please, I'd like to say that the suggestion section is going to take just 10 minutes thereabouts. So please make your question or your suggestion very brief so that we can move on. We have few time to be out of the hall. Thank you.
There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. This place be much brighter than tomorrow. And if you really try, you find there's no need to cry.
All right, DJ, thank you, please. Now, quickly, we will have to take We have to take suggestion. Please, like I said, we have just 10 minutes for this section, and just make your suggestion or questions very, very brief, please. So please, if you have something to say, kindly just raise up your hand, and we'll get this over to you. Chair.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Comrade Olajide Eso, Osun AAC governorship candidate. Would like to stand on the existing protocol. And what I would just say this time is that visionary leadership must be at the center of our collective aspiration. Leadership should never be defined by the size of one's bank account, by any perceived capacity to act without accountability, and how much money you have to fund vote buying. Instead, leadership must be measured by sacrifice, integrity, and genuine will to serve the people. And we often talk about and condemn acts of violence among supporters of different political parties. However, we must also address the root causes of these problems. Widespread joblessness among our youth, a failing educational system, and weaponization of ignorance and hunger. Most of the youth being engaged in acts of violence are jobless, and unfortunately, those desperate politicians exploiting them are often the same ones who have contributed to their joblessness that abounds. These are the same politicians who will never send their own children along with them into such situation. Those driven by desperation often have limited tangible offerings to the people. There will always be violence when we ignore the root causes of our problems and challenges, especially when there are no serious adverse consequences for political candidates and their supporters who fuel such acts. This is why we must actively discourage and reject every form of vote buying and inducement during this electioneering process.
Please, can we go straight? What's your question so that we can?
No. This is part of what we are doing. I'm part of the stakeholders. So, and I deserve some audience.
Like I said, hold on, please. Like I said, we have 10 minutes for this section. We have other people that still wants to
What I'm
talk.
saying is important. And that is why
Sorry,
we're here.
please. It matters because I need to manage my
It does
time.
matter. So, there must be clear threshold, a certain number of violations that will lead to suspension of political parties that engage in acts of violence during electioneering activities. It must be made known to the public the serious consequences of selling their votes. When citizens sell their vote, they surrender their power to determine their own future. Empower those who may not have their best interests attacked and risk perpetuating cycle of poor governance and underdevelopment. This undermines our collective progress and makes it harder for genuine service-oriented leadership to emerge. As stakeholders, we have a responsibility to uphold integrity of electoral process. Let us promote leadership rooted in service, competence, a clear vision for Osun development, one that tackles joblessness, revamp our educational system, and eliminate weaponization of ignorance and hunger. Let us encourage candidates and vote and focus on ideas, character, commitment, rather than transactional politics. And parties who have money only to recruit crowd and make noise, but have nothing tangible to offer. I urge all of us to work together, strongly discourage vote buying and every form of electoral inducement, educate citizens on long-term consequences of selling their votes, enforce clear consequences, including possible suspension of party for repeated acts of violence, prioritize transparency, accountability, and genuine service in leadership, protect sanctity of people's will so Osun can experience progress in it truly deserves.
Thank you. Thank you.
This election must present
Thank you,
us
sir.
an
Thank you.
opportunity.
Thank you. This is, please, I wouldn't want to cut you off, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You've made your point already. Thank you, sir. Please, we need to do the vote of thanks now because we need to leave the hall. You are taking the time that others are supposed to use. So now I'm not taking any. I wouldn't want to cut you off, please, with due respect. Thank you very much. You are reading a full note. All right. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, I'd like to say that we would want to take the vote of thanks, which will be done by Chris Adetayo, Publicity Secretary for Osun Development.
Thank you very much, Mr. MC. Thank you also to the last speaker. His passion was clearly evident in the way and manner that he insisted he had to speak. It's been a long day, and mercifully I have the easiest job of the day, which is to give a vote of thanks. And to do this, it's the choice is either to make it a very short one or a long one. I will defer to my elders and make it a very short one. Let me start by thanking all our distinguished guests that have honored us today, starting with all the political parties that were represented during the charter signing ceremony. Your presence is greatly, greatly appreciated. I must thank all our distinguished speakers, starting with Kabiesi, Dr. Abolari, the Orongo of Okeila, who honored us with his presence. And it's gratifying that at every given time when there's an opportunity to have intellectual conversations about the development of our state and of our region and country, he's always present. We thank him very much. I thank my brother, Dr. Sheye Oyelaye, the Director General of DAWN, Development Action for Western Nigeria. Over the last decade or so, the hard work that he and his team puts together we see every day and every month and every year, and I wish him continuing success. I want to thank all the security agencies that were present here, starting with the Nigerian Police Service, led by the Assistant Commissioner of Police. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense is this service or Corps? The Corps, NSCDC, for their presence as well. Thank you to the DSS, the Department of State Services, who chose not to be formally recognized during the ceremony. We are truly grateful. I cannot begin to thank the Executive Governor of Osun State enough. He graciously sent the Deputy Governor to represent him, and also the Commissioner of Commerce as well, Dr. Bomijenyo, who is still here with us. We're very grateful for your presence. I thank all the media, the journalists that have graced this occasion, and hope that the message of today, which is about peace and development, is one that they will help us to carry forward. Let me now come back home and thank the members of the Osun Development Association. Over the last 3-4 years that I joined the association, what I have witnessed is a group of people who are deeply committed to the development of our dear state. And it is such commitment that inspires not just people like me, but hopefully many generations to come to continue to commit to the growth and development of our state. Thank you especially to the committee saddled with delivering this event, led by my Egbon, Dr. Tunji Olugbodi. Again, his level of energy for things like this continues to astound me. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you to all the members of the executive, who are here present. I do not know the name specifically, so you must pardon me, but I recognize you all. And finally, thank you to all the technical crew that have helped to make this event a success. Very, very grateful. Hopefully, in the very near future, we get to gather again to measure the success of today's event and the outcome of the elections. Thank you all so much. Wishing everyone a lovely evening and safe journey back to your various abodes. Thank you so much.
There's a place in your heart, and I know that it is love. Much brighter than tomorrow.
Our own dear native land, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace all battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain. Ishewa fulewa, tuile ibiwa, kabega, kabega, kabega fayere, igbabo wanipe, maziberu labomo, kashishe, 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 kashishe.